You Sistas Fontasy, welcome back for episode 2 of the pod. We're back and we're better. New equipment, new microphone. Here's my brother Poppy, co-host.
What's up, boys? Hope everyone recovered after the long weekend. Draft is complete. First step is done, and now we're, pretty close to game time. I hope everyone's happy with their team. Good app coming out, and we got a great guest to have on tonight, so we're excited.
Yeah, before we bring him on, as always, shout out to StreamYard for hosting the pod this year. If anyone's looking for stream startups, head over to their site. It's very user-friendly. Definitely check them out. Also, just want to give a quick shout-out to Jack Spat. My charger wasn't working on my laptop. He's not even in the league anymore. He offers his charger, comes to my crib, delivers it to me. So shout out to him for making this podcast possible. Spat, do you want to say hello to the league or?
It's good, boys. I'll always be there in spirit. Wishing you guys the best. I guess shout out to StreamYard making that possible. Excited to kind of hear it live. So let the show go on, I suppose.
All right, Poppy, you sipping on anything tonight?
Not sipping on anything, but definitely have some sponsors. Wanted to just shout out Mike Repalone from Signature Premier Properties. He's going to sponsor this app and working out on a sponsorship for the full length of the pod this season. So if you're looking to buy or sell, contact Mike Repalone of Signature Premier Properties. And lastly, On just sent me a new package, coffees.
4 millis.
They actually upped my milli. I've been such a faithful customer. Don't know if I can handle them yet, but I'm sure the pod's going to get my adrenaline going anyway. So a little 4 milli to get me right.
Nice. I'm going to go with a Corona on this episode. Got my full-send shotgun tool to help me open it. So any of the boys watching, kick back a Happy Dad Corona and enjoy this pod. All right, Mike, you want to introduce our guest?
This week's guest was my sous chef at the draft. Very good friend of mine. Very great fantasy player. Formerly known as Bud Light Jesus. Welcome on the podcast, Tito's and Soda Jesus.
What's up, fellas? How you doing? What's up, boys?
Quesadich, Paisan. How you doing?
I just do skis.
You sipping on anything over there, Tom?
Not sipping on anything tonight.
Any sponsors you need to shout out before we get started?
Yeah, just one sponsor. Beats by Dr. Dre. Sent me over a new pair of the AirPods. Testing them out. Might be using them over AirPod Pros now.
Respect that. Let me know how that goes. I've been in the business. I'm going to get a new mic here pretty soon, but the Beats actually look fire.
Yeah, shout out Beats.
All right, so I'll kick us off. I just want to say we're going into our junior season. That draft, I think that was the best one yet. The spread, the vibes, the jokes, everything was awesome. Do you guys want to give a little insight on what you prepared for some people who might not know? All the fans out there watching, what you prepared, what it was like working together, putting your differences aside. Give us a little background on that.
Yeah, so me and Tom, definitely the two chefs of the group. So it was a little rivalry there, a little chef rivalry. But when we come together, great things could happen. And I think we saw that at the draft. So put together a little 3-piece menu. We went with classic Long Island bagels, but Tom folded in some well-done bacon and cheddar cheese to just elevate that dish a little bit. Make the spread a little good. Then we went with the breakfast burritos, Mexican style, refried beans, potatoes, chorizo, egg. I think that was the highlight of the dish right there. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And to put it all down, not a lot of people dove into this, so I was starting to second guess my choice, but we did a little fruity French toast. I wouldn't say a major hit, but for the people who did have it, I got some good feedback. But we'll probably swap.
I actually have in my notes. Sorry to cut you off. My favorite was the fruity breakfast. I'm more of a sweet tooth type of guy. I went 2 rounds of that French toast, but yeah, it did look like other members stayed away from that French toast.
Pack was definitely all over that fruity French toast. I know that. Anything fruity for that kid.
Yeah, the mimosas were delicious, and the espresso martinis to top it off were delicious.
Yeah, we did the espresso martinis a little late in the draft. I figured it would pick me up like after we were coming down from the higher drafting. But again, a lot of members, maybe had 1 to 2. I was still trying to mix them more up, but it seemed like the vibes were just on a decline. I'm not sure what went wrong there. So I'm a little hard on myself because I was the host. But Tom, if you have any feedback, please let me know.
Everything was good. Food solid. Espresso martinis. I know personally, I had 3 of them. Just how I like them. We did leave a little early, but then again, we had parties to go on. We went out to Brody's. So had a good day. All in all, good day, good draft. More sense to come.
Any comment on that cream cheese and bacon?
Did not sit well. Made my tummy hurt. I know I made it. Couple farts coming out. Sorry, Kickler. Just cutting chives and scallions in that living room. But whatever it is. You learn. You move on.
Was there anything, did you guys cook with anything spicy? I know there was one member at the draft who had a little sweating issue. Was that due to the hotness of the food? Any spices you guys threw in there?
Personally, no. I know we put 1 chili in the eggs, but we did remove the seeds because a lot of white boys, they can't really handle their heat. But if you were sweating from that, that's just embarrassing. Anything else? It was nice and cool in the house, so I don't know what he could have been sweating from, that kid.
If you could give me a second, I think I have a picture here to pull up.
Let's see it.
I think I know where he's going with this one.
I have an idea.
You guys able to see that?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I see that. What is that? What is that from? There's no way that's from a chili.
I don't know what that's from, but
I think a seed might have got left into that mix, dude.
Maybe he got the seed. Yeah, maybe he got a seed.
For the viewers get an idea, that's what I was referring to.
That looks like he just ran like a marathon or something like that.
I won't name the player. You can't see the face, but you have an idea on how much he was sweating.
Whoever that should get surgery. Whoever that is needs surgery, but that's for another story.
All right. Anything else before we move on to the draft and the teams?
No, I just want to thank everyone for coming. Thank my Sue again. I'll throw down with you in the kitchen anytime. I look forward to returning the favor and being your Sue from one of your menus in the near future.
Soon coming, brother. Soon to come.
Love that.
All right. So I'm going to go team by team, and I'm going to break it down in the draft order. So the first team up will be Leo Lembo. I don't want to say his team name again.
Well, Kamish, sorry to cut you off. Would you mind? I'd like to give our guest first dibs. He's taking the time to come on, and I want to give him priority here. Let's run down with Tom's team.
Oh, he actually had the first pick. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I did.
I don't know why he's actually the first team to speak about.
Glad I stepped in there.
Thank you for holding me accountable there.
No doubt.
All right. Pulling
Definitely going to have a lot to say about a lot of people's teams.
While he pulls up your team, Tom, just walk us through the strategy this year. Do you have anything different in your head before you drafted as opposed to last year? Or it was kind of just you have your system and your science and you just roll with it?
Yeah, I went against the grain. I usually go heavy running back team first round. And I did not go running back my first pick, but I did make up for it going 4 or 5 backs in a row. So again, went against the grain, but also went back to my roots as I usually do.
Yeah, I think, we're going to use against the grain a little loosely here. You picked an all-star best receiver in the league. It's not really too far against the grain there, but, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, just going wide receiver first round is something I never do.
Well, if anyone's going to make you do it, it's JJ.
I think I kind of got bullied into that pick. ESPN was bullying me a lot. A lot of other shows, people were bullying me saying, if you don't go, Justin Jefferson won. You're doing it wrong this year. So I feel like I got bullied into it, but we'll see how it works out.
All right. And any regrets looking back at what you put together?
Not a ton of regrets. I wish I would have just took a tight end a little earlier. So I'm putting all my eggs in Zach Ertz. Hopefully he can stay healthy and stay on the field. Maybe I should have went tight end a little earlier, but for the most part, I'm happy with what I got.
Well, let's hope he doesn't hurt so good.
No,
for you.
no defense as of now. Working on that.
You got any comments on his team, Mike?
Hang on, I just heard someone come through the door. Let me just check the ring.
All right, I'll go quick. Yeah, Tom won a very running back heavy team here. I think people were complaining at one point on how many running backs he had, discussing if it was even allowed in the rules. But here his team is a bunch of running backs. Potentially seeing if he's going to move some of them. I know other teams are wide receiver heavy. I love the Watson pick. I think he's going to have a good year in Cleveland, getting a full year with the offense. Mixon's always a solid back. ETN have some of my buddies that are high on him too, so we'll see what he does this year. Then we go to Jefferson and Debo. Jefferson awesome. We'll see how Debo does this year. I think he was on the decline last year, but if he could pick it up, if your sister's ass hurts, picks it up. Aaron Jones, pretty solid team here. My favorite pick out of Tom was in the 14th round. He took Daniel Jones as a Jets fan. He sees the potential there. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a great year. I think he's going to finish in the top-tier quarterback section. So we'll see if he gets the nod ever at one point in the season.
Very possible. DJ could definitely see us starting lineup in the future.
Yeah, I love that. Looking back, Mixon, I didn't love that for his pick there on the turn, but again, there wasn't many options left. He is a star. So running back, he definitely made up for it after that Jefferson pick. I like ETN a lot. And just scrolling down here. And that Zeke Elliott pick too late. I have to root against him with Ramondre on my team. I really hope he doesn't have a lot of success in New England because that would hurt me. But all's fair in love and war. So good draft, all in all.
All right, moving on to the second pick. I know some people have a lot to say about this team.
It's going to be talked about for a while, this team.
We are moving on to TTV No Cap Kicks, a.k.a. Send MD. You guys can see his team on the screen, right?
I see it.
Okay, yeah. Take it away, Tom.
This kid started off the draft strong, in my opinion. Had really good first three picks: Eckler, Pollard, A.J. Brown. Then he shocked us. He blames it on me ripping ass. Who knows what really went through his head? Then he goes Aaron Rodgers, and then on the way back, Dallas Goedert was, in my opinion, better tight end still available on the board. So in the fourth and fifth round, I feel like he destroyed his team. But I don't even know what else to say about this kid. It was kind of shocking what he did. Picked Aaron Rodgers when there's a lot of other quarterbacks on the board that could have went before him too. It must be high on him this year. But who knows? This team I see being in the basement though for most of the year.
You think it's a playoff team, Tom, or what do you see?
This team I see as potential punishment.
Okay, Mike. What are your thoughts here?
Wow, yeah, definitely started really strong. Eckler, Pollard, followed up by A.J. Brown. I probably would have grabbed another receiver after. I mean, when you have so much talent in your RB receiver, you might as well stack it and just go QB later because you're going to make up for it. So, yeah, definitely a reach on Rodgers. You could have seen Burrow there. Running quarterbacks were out in the field. He probably could have grabbed Fields if he did want to go QB.
Yep.
There was definitely options for him. So, and then again, yeah, I agree on the tight end spot. He did lock in the number one defense with the 49ers. So once he filled his board up, he did jump on the defenses pretty quick. He kind of ignited me to grab the Jets because I was going 49ers with that pick. So he did jump out and get a nice defense. A lot of talent still there. I think he could have just been – the ceiling was even higher for him, and he definitely leveled himself off with a couple mistakes, but interesting to see.
Yeah, my notes are some of the same what you guys said. He started off the draft great. I love Eckler and Pollard. Some people didn't think he had, the brain capacity to draft Pollard or if he even knew about him. So I respected the Pollard pick. We were all shocked because the last couple of drafts, he always has one pick that usually blows our mind. And then third round hits, and there we go, Rodgers and Goddard. So don't know what he was thinking there, but still I think he has a decent team from reaching on those two picks. I think he has punishment potential as well as losing the loser bracket and paying for the hardware. But my favorite pick from Kickler was the 12th round, Cole Kmet. I think he was a focal point at some point in Chicago's offense last year, but I think he's in the same tier as Goddard. So I think Kmet and Goddard will be similar tight ends. But I like that pick and that value there in the 12th round.
I was definitely looking at Cole Kmet too. He took him right before me. I was kind of upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, I love Kickler's running back, so I'll give him that for all the shit I gave him. I like his 1 and 2 are very good.
Yes, definitely. All right, moving on to the third pick, I got a Chubb, aka Sendo. And real quick, we forgot to address this in the beginning. There was a point before we drafted. I think everybody looked outside, and Hendo was actually butt naked in the front. I don't even know if my brother knows about this. He was butt naked in the front, changing, like no underwear on. The whole league saw his ass. Not sure if Mike caught it on the ring camera, but what do you take of that, Mike? You just got a new house. There's spare bedrooms, bathrooms, and he decides to scare your neighbors and get completely naked on your front lawn.
Well, I did reach out to Ring to try to secure that footage, and that's not even for my own personal gain. I did have a neighbor take notice, and it happened to be an uncle of our co-host who actually reached out for that Ring footage. I don't know what he plans to do with it, but Uncle Alex is very interested. So, and he gave me a good number to get the footage, so I'm working on that now, and I guess I'll share it with the league.
Appreciate it. All right, let's go back to fantasy football related. Let's switch it up, Mike. Why don't you talk about his team first?
All right, yeah. So wasn't heard rumors of the Chubb pick 3. Wasn't expecting it. He's obviously a star running back, but to pass up on McCaffrey there and some of the other options, I personally don't love the pick, but it helped McCaffrey drop to me. He shot in, and again against the grain, quarterback. Second pick went with Mahomes. He definitely did his homework and knows Mahomes has won some teams the league last year, and he went strong and then came back with Waddle in the third. So his 1, 2, 3 definitely against the grain, but potential for success there. High ceiling. I like it. Miles Sanders, don't expect much, and then he grabbed a really good tight end. So for someone to go against the grain like he did, I think there's a lot of potential there. But he took some chances, so I guess you got to do that if you want to go far, and we'll see how it plays out for him.
All right, Tom, let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't mind Tone's team at all. Some players I don't like I do not like Miles Sanders. His wide receivers, Jalen Waddle's going to be good, and the DJ Moore, again, not a fan of him. But he does definitely have some upside. Is what Zay Flower on his bench. He could be a weapon that's going to be used a lot in that offense over there in Baltimore. So that could help him. And then Dalvin Cook, when Breece Hall comes back 100%, who knows what's going to go on with them. So again, it could be an iffy flex, but I'm a fan of Hendo's team all in all.
Yeah, quick shout out to Hendo. I think Chubb was ranked rather low on ESPN. I actually just had the paper. I don't know where it went, but he had a third pick and he went with his gut. He went with his guy. He didn't care about the rankings, and I respect that. So he took a shot at Chubb, and I hope Chubb could pay it forward for him. He got his guy Chubb. He took Mahomes off the board early, so he's looking for a lot of points out of the duo. Other notes, he took 3 Giants players, Waller, Hyatt, and Breida. Not sure what he's thinking with Breida there, if he's hoping for a Saquon injury, especially that he's a Giants fan. So definitely that Breida pick took me back. Love the Waller pick. Yeah, 5th round Waller. That's my favorite pick from Hendo. Him and Danny Dimes have been clicking in the preseason in the red zone like crazy, they're saying. So expecting big things out of Waller. And, I'm a fan of Hendo's team also.
Yeah, again, the Zay Flowers pick, another against the grain. He went after him very early, but again, high ceiling, low floor, kind of one of those volatile picks, but he rolled the dice and secured Jay Tucker. He's got the number 1 kicker. So again, with the quarterback, a kicker like Tucker, some wild cards in there. And Thielen late was another solid pick I liked of his too that I was looking at before I went to Rashad Bateman. So he definitely undercut me twice in that draft that I felt. I think I got him back late, but solid.
All right, moving on to our co-host team, Papicito.
All right, yeah. So I think I went with balance. Is kind of the strategy here. Lots of balance. McCaffrey and Amon-Ra. I love that 1-2 punch. Devonta Smith, another guy who could really break out on the Eagles. So happy. And then Ramondre, he's a little bit, I wouldn't say slept on, but again, New England offense is always crafty. He found the end zone a lot last year. Bolzomi had Ramondre and McCaffrey last year, and that's our champ. So taking 2 of those weapons and throwing them on my team, hopefully they can have some repeat seasons. Grabbed the tight end, Kyle Pitts. Javonte Williams, again, had the injury for me last year. Didn't want to pick him. Anyone who got injured on my team, I just feel like once you get injured like that, it's hard to come back. So, but high ceiling. And then I don't want to talk about it too much. I got Jets D. I was very happy about that. And then getting Elijah Mitchell was really good because God forbid my one overall, anything happens, I do have the backup sitting on my bench too. So that was a really key pick late in the draft that I'm glad no one sniped away. And I'm happy. I'm happy. It's a well-balanced team. So again, I think it's going to be great for Survivor. This balance that I put together and championship potential.
Yeah, like Mikey said, a very well-balanced team. I was definitely looking at his team after the draft and was saying, wow, he's got a solid team. Surprised McCaffrey fell to 4. I know we were talking about some potential picks. We didn't expect McCaffrey to be there. Not huge on Ramondre Stevenson. He had a couple breakout games last year, but then slowly went down towards the end of the season. We don't know how it's going to look with Zeke there, if some of his production is going to get cut, if Zeke's going to do some goal line work. Stinky Pitts, I've had him on my team before. Not a huge fan of Pitts. I mean, he was drafted very high as a tight end. Big expectations on this guy. We'll see if he could turn it around for Ike. And my favorite pick on Mikey's team was round 14, Alan Lazard. I think he's a little sleeper this year. I think him and Rodgers are going to definitely hook up in the end zone a few times. And I can see Lazard moving into that flex spot for Mikey's team.
Yeah, I like Mikey's team too. I like Justin Fields is my number one quarterback on the board this year. But I think McCaffrey good. I'm never a fan of New England running backs. So Ramondre Stevenson again, like you said, I'm not a fan of. But he does have a lot of upside. Javonte Williams going to come back hard after an injury. And I love Alan Lazard too because that's my team. So I think him and Rodgers' chemistry in New York could be elite.
Looking forward for your sophomore season, Mike. This is definitely a way better team than what you had last year.
Absolutely appreciate it. Moving on.
Now we're moving on to one of my favorite teams. I'll start off here. Where's he at? Here he is. This is one of my favorite teams from the draft. Go to my notes quick. Okay, Leo. I love chasing Wilson a lot. Almost reached on Wilson because I have high hopes on for this guy this year. Him and Rodgers, I think, are going to do special things. Just want to thank you again for not picking Saquon Barkley. I know we had a discussion. You said you were going to take him at 5. Thank you for not taking him. His running backs, Najee and Gibbs. High on Gibbs this year, and I think Najee has a way better season than last year. So I think he's got 2 studs at receiver, 2 studs at his running back, and then he's got another stud at tight end, TJ Hawkinson. I think he's going to do big things this year too. And Trevor Lawrence, he was putting up big numbers towards the end of the season last year. Only thing I don't like here is the flex Pacheco, but at that point, you don't even need him. Leo is definitely one of my picks to make a deep, deep playoff run this year.
Yeah, I like Leo's team too. I'm just not a fan of Najee Harris at all. Like, I just think he's not going to be good. And Isaiah Pacheco too. I mean, Kansas City's offense is very high level, but I don't know how good he's going to be either. And you're a rookie running back. I like Gibbs a lot too, if he's going to have a good year or not. But the Najee Harris pick is just, I don't like him one bit. Leo has the best 1-2 wide receiver, though, 2-0 in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
Without a doubt. And Trevor Lawrence is going to be good there. He's going to have a good year, obviously, this year, too.
Yeah, it's my favorite pick from him.
Najee, terrible pick, though, Lee. Be better than that next time.
Yeah, I mean, Chase obviously going to 5. He could be a top 2 pick, top 3, 4 and a 5 again. Definitely Hendo shook up that first round, reaching for Chubb, I think, and put some players down the line. Garrett Wilson, definitely high ceiling. A lot of people are on him, but I also think a lot of teams are going to be preparing for him this year. Like, as a rookie last year, he might have got away with teams not really realizing his potential. So I think a lot of defenses are going to put the focus on him. Again, though, stud receiver. Najee Harris was on my team last year. Terrible season. I mean, made it to most people's bench. probably about halfway through. As that being your 2 running back could be tough. And then again, he's just Isaiah Pacheco, so he's going to be hurt in the RB situation. Last year, a lot of running backs were making the difference week by week. I felt like receivers and tight ends and everyone were kind of like the studs did good, but I felt like running backs were just making the difference for a lot of the wins last year. As someone with a weak running game, I was feeling it week by week. So hoping that doesn't happen to Lee. Anything late that I really love? Nothing crazy, but yeah, I mean his starters are pretty solid, minus that Najee pick. So good team for Lee. Expecting big things.
Yep, definitely, Lee. You are circled for me to land in the championship this year. Don't know if I'm cursing you or not, but you are definitely my pick. Moving on, we got the rookie and the vet, Matthew Arnold. I'm sure Tom has a lot to speak about on this team coming up. Never the Bull.
Arnie.
Where is Never the Bull? Here he is. All right, Tom, you lead us here.
This kid, talking about going against the grain. I mean, this kid was the grain, what he did in this draft. Not going a running back until I think round 7, whatever it was. I think it was round 7. He took his first running back off the board in James Conner. And so that's why Arnold, he was trying to explain it like, oh, James Conner and Cam Akers, great value running backs. Cam Akers is ass. That's just a fact. He's shit. He was shit last year. He's going to be shit this year. But I do like Arnold's team is CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins. I'm not really a big fan of CeeDee Lamb. Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league, top 5 player in the league probably. But I also could see like in Arnold's team, like if a DeAndre Swift, if Philly's going to use running backs actually this year, like he could be a guy maybe going up in that flex or RB2 position over Cam Akers because he's just so ass. Cam Akers, it's fucking terrible how bad he is. But Arnold again, no defense, no kicker, but Arnold's got a good team all in all though. But Cam Akers fucking is so bad. James Conner, you need a bounce back year too from there. Otherwise, if that guy doesn't have a good year, Arnold's going to be in the basement with Kickler.
Yeah, shout out to the rookie. He definitely came prepared. He had his own strategy, and he had a well put together spreadsheet that apparently he ranked all the players himself. So the research was there. We'll see later in the season if this no running back strategy pays off. I'm not in love with his receivers. We got CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, and Amari Cooper. But I think it's a boomer bust situation here. Kelce, obviously, Mr. Consistent. He had to take him. But he went no running back strategy, but I'm not in love with his top 3 receivers. But I could be wrong. They could all have great seasons. That's the best thing about fantasy football. You never know. James Conner, we'll see what Arizona is going to do this year. Murray's out for the first few games, so we could see James Conner getting a lot of work early on, looking deeper into his team. Dak Prescott, he'll probably never see the lineup. Swifty, we'll see, I don't know how much look Swifty's going to get. Kadarius Toney, don't like that pick either. But I think his team is a boomer bust situation here.
Yeah, just to jump in, I think for not grabbing a running back that early, I would have liked to see a little more talent in receivers. I mean, T. Higgins is kind of just the one wild card pick that I think I would have liked Olave there, and I would have felt a little stronger. Third
with Calvin Ridley.
I was upset that he didn't go Calvin Ridley there, which he should have, I thought, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah, so I mean that could be something that bites him, but he's got a great quarterback in Burrow. Again, I was just hurt by running back so much last year that I didn't want to be in the same position. He may have different luck with his late running back choices. And again, I guess favorite pick of his draft was the Dotson pick in round 10, it looks like. Had early success last year. Washington, I think he could have another breakout season. So nice value late for Arnold there.
Yeah, we'll see what the rookie can do this season. T, real quick, you think this team makes the playoffs? Just looking at it right here, right now.
In my opinion, no, but I could be wrong.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think we're going to be looking at Arnold, sending those memes of the guy who does all the research and then doesn't make playoffs. I think just too much analyzing at that point and too much numbers. I mean, sometimes it just comes down to feel and being natural. And I think there was just overthinking might be what bites him in the butt. And hope I'm wrong.
All right, moving on to the Rudnados. I'll kick it off because this is another one of my favorites. I think we'll make a deep playoff run. Rudnados, I think you had a great draft, brother. Bijan Robinson, everyone's big on him this year. So I put a little question mark next to him, but everything I'm seeing, he's supposed to be great. He's got all the big names here. Lamar Jackson, a new big name, Bijan Robinson, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Kittle, and Scary Terry. So those names pop. Favorite pick here is Alvin Kamara. I think he got him in the 7th round. People are a little off on him because he's getting older and with the addition of Jamal Williams. But I think the Saints only signed Jamal Williams because they were a little bit nervous on how many games Kamara was going to be suspended for. But I think when Kamara gets back, he's going to take back that spot. There might be few touchdowns stolen by Jamal, but I think for the most part, Kamara is going to be a nice little pick in the 7th round.
Yeah, but
And
he also hedged his bet too, so he's got both guys. So
he's got Jamal there too. Arnold was saying he was playing mind games with him to get him to pick Jamal, but I think this is a great team, and I think him and Leo are definitely going to go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, I like Rud's team. Rud's a good team. All in all, me and him were beefing a lot at the draft. I might try to start a new beef with him. He flakes every time we try to do something, but that's besides the fact. But I like Lamar. Bijan, I'm not high on. I mean, he could be good. I'm just not as high as everyone else is on him. Devontae Adams, I always like DK Metcalf. I got a lot of shit for taking him last year and he had a pretty good year. Kittle, if he could stay on the field healthy, and like you said, the Alvin Kamara pick, handcuffing him and Jamal Williams, that will come back. That's gonna help him a lot once he gets out of suspension.
yeah, and he also hedged his bet too down with Algier. So God forbid trouble with Bijan. He's got backups sitting on his bench. I think that's important to grab some of those backups because you got guys like Arnold that I know as soon as news breaks on any of these players getting hurt, he's going to snipe those backups in the wire. He definitely pays attention. So don't want to leave too much room for error. And he's got his bench looks pretty solid. God forbid some of these guys go down or different coaching strategies. And then no one's talking about this Odell Beckham pick. You don't know what we're going to see when he comes back. He's going to have the Lamar Jackson connection. Again, he connected the dots there with Odell. And we're talking about what was one of the best receivers in the league at one point, coming back for a season to – I know he plans to get back to where he was. He got good value late there, so I like that pick. He did a good job of just constructing this team. He filled the pieces in the right places, so good job there, Rudd. I know he definitely was dogging a lot of my spread. I saw him with a plate and a drink in his hand at all times, so welcome back anytime, Rudd.
Yeah, good value late for Rudd. Sutton, too. I know Leapak gave him some shit for picking Sutton. I had Sutton last year, but you know what happened with the Broncos season. If they turn it around, I think Sutton could be a good little steal at the end there also.
Quick idea for a team name if Rudd wants to try it out, making Sutton out of nothing.
Making Sutton out of nothing.
Let me know, Rudd. I'll take my credit if you go with it.
Collab.
Moving on to the defending champ.
What is his picture?
I don't know. Something sus.
I think it's a selfie.
That's sus. It's a selfie, you said?
Something sus, but let's get into his team.
This could be my first win. This could be my win week 1 right here.
All right, so this is your week 1 matchup. Break down his team first, Tom.
Stevie got a good team. Decent team. Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. Josh Jacobs just signed on a 1-year deal. Kind of another prove it kind of deal, I guess. Don't like Rashad White. Cooper Kupp. If he can stay on the field, he's going to be an absolute beast like he always is. Calvin Ridley, I'm high hopes on him. I'm very, very high on him this year, coming back from a fucking year suspension. Going to be on Jacksonville now this year. I don't love his flex. Evan Ingram, again, we all know what he was in the Giants last year, had a surprise year. If he could stay where he was, he could be well. And, going down to his bench, DeAndre Hopkins, again, I don't know how he's going to be, but always a high ceiling with him. Everyone else, I love that Buffalo tight end, too. I think he's going to be take Dawson Knox's spot and be the main guy over there. All in all, Stevie's, reigning champ, always got to be on high alert when you're going up against the reigning champ.
Yeah, I love his first 4-round picks, Kupp, Jacobs, Hurts, and Ridley. I think he built a nice core there. Question marks with Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins. He was saying Hopkins was a little steal. I forgot who I picked right before. I picked Keenan Allen over Hopkins, and Steve was ear to ear. So I would be pretty upset if Hopkins has a crazy year, but I just don't really seeing it happen at this point in his career, especially in Tennessee. I like Steve's team, though. I think he'll make another playoff run, and it'll be interesting to see how Hopkins and Hollywood plays out throughout the weeks.
Yeah, the defending champ. I mean, can't knock him. Cooper Kupp again. It was definitely on my radar in the 104 spot. Injuries just tend to scare me away. But again, if he returns to what he was, going to be the main focal point of that offense and just be a beast. So Jacobs, I know there's a little trouble over there. He wasn't happy with the team and the franchise, and I think was requesting a trade at one point. But again, he's going to be expected to ball out. So solid RB1 there. And then the Jalen Hurts pick is big too. These running quarterbacks, someone like him who loves to get the ball in the end zone himself. Fake to Miles Sanders, QB sneak all day. So I definitely like, receiver 1, RB1, and that QB, and then to come back with Calvin Ridley. So top 4 was just flawless. Christian Watson in the middle there had a big season. He was on my roster last year. Was connecting with Rodgers a lot in the end zone. Big touchdown receiver. So big things expected from him. Could be late value and hold down that flex spot for him. And then Bills D. So solid picks. Good team.
Solid D.
And then moving on to our commish.
Yeah, also real quick, love the 3rd round pick when you said, I'm sorry, Lee Pack, he's just too nasty.
Just
That
too
was fucking
nasty.
awesome. That's
Too
a
nasty,
count off the
Lee.
board right out off of that. So
That shook up Lee's whole drift. He was all fucking. That's when the sweat started really coming out. That's when everything really started happening for Lee. Made that brisket, wasn't touched by anybody, but whatever. Anyway, on the T's team, go T.
On to my team. Very excited. I got Barkley again. Didn't think he was going to fall to me at 9, but another contract year for him. The Giants added a ton of more weapons, so I think the field will really open up more for Saquon. But yeah, then in the rounds after that, I really went against my rules. I usually don't go any QB or tight end till the later part of the draft because I always feel like you could find value at QB later that will produce similar numbers to these top guys. And tight end, I usually bounce around too, but QB started going. I had Diggs, and I knew Lee Pack was eyeing up Josh Allen, so decided to pull the trigger on the Allen Diggs connection. Could be very good, could be very bad. Then Mark Andrews, he's a guy that hasn't, produced much over the last years, but Lamar was hurt last year. I think that was a big part of why he didn't put up big numbers. With Lamar coming back, high hopes for this guy this year. So I went against the grain and went early tight end QB. Then I went Keenan Allen there. I hope he stays healthy. He's always the guy that usually has like a hamstring injury or something. But looking at my team, I think if we stay healthy, I think it's a great team. I think this could be a boomer bust situation, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I think I have a solid squad here. And then also quick shout out to the rookies. Chavernet, Addison, Quentin Johnson went real young in the later of my picks. Elijah Moore, former Jet on Cleveland. See if Watson can turn his career around. Lockett, always a consistent guy. Evans, he's yet to put up a season under 1,000 yards, but he's got Baker throwing to him. So, yeah, and Mechie, receiver out of Houston. A lot of rookies on the team.
Yeah, see, I like your team. I look at your team as, and I was saying it's like one of the safer teams, if that makes sense, because you get what you get with everybody who you got. It could be a really good team. Kenneth Walker, I love this year too. I love Kenneth Walker. I wanted him so bad. And if Saquon has the same year he had last year, you're gonna be a really good team. But like I said, look at your team. I just think like a safe team. You know what you're gonna get from them every week.
Yeah, I mean, you already kind of talked about some of your hesitation about your squad and your picks. I do think the Allen Diggs connection is a big one, but there was definitely some turmoil at some point last year. Diggs was getting upset. He wasn't getting the touches that he felt. It felt like their personalities weren't mixing too much. So hopefully they figure it out in the locker room and get back to business. But if that trend continues, you could have some issues with just Diggs' attitude, not getting the ball, and Allen. Hopefully that doesn't hurt. But if they're connecting, that's just going to double dip for you. Kenneth Walker, had him on my squad last year. Runs the ball like an animal. I think the biggest flaw for him is his reception game. And then you hedged with Charbonnet, who they brought in to catch some of those short passes. But again, it's, are you going to put both of them in the lineup? That's going to be tough. So hopefully they kind of lean on one guy heavy, and you have both. So as long as the workload goes to one of them, then you should be good there. Lockett again, another Seattle pick, found the end zone a ton last year. Not huge numbers in the yards game, but if Geno keeps finding them in the end zone, solid flex look for you there if he's scoring. And then Mike Evans too. I mean, he had, I don't know if it's the QB situation or what the deal is, but he's a consistent guy who I think has a much higher ceiling than what he has been doing the last 2 to 3 seasons. So if by some magical way Baker's the guy that finds him and makes the plays, then, I mean, Mike Evans could be a lockdown receiver too for you right there. So I think some guys I had on my roster last year, but again, I didn't make it too deep at all. So I don't know if that's kind of a sign right there. But, not your best draft, but not your worst. It's safe.
I like Madison too. I like Madison your flex.
Yeah, Madison at the flex. I forgot to mention him.
I like him. I like that boy.
All right.
All right, moving on to the last team here.
Damn. Sweaty
We
tits.
all know about this guy.
The biggest shit talker in the league. Biggest fucking pot stirrer in the fucking league. Leh.
Anybody want to go first here?
I'm killing Mike. You can still do it to him.
I loved Hill at 10. I think that was one of the best value picks in the entire draft. He could have went 1 through 5 without question. So finding him 10, and then the safe, solid running back in Derrick Henry, who's just been a focal point of that offense year after year. He's going to do his numbers. Very, very solid RB. And then Jonathan Taylor, who was first overall last year in our draft, biggest bust of our draft, and kind of led to the demise of Spat. Shout out Spat in the back. To see him on Lee's team, 3rd round. Again, it's kind of like the Najee Harris situation where lots of talent and a high ceiling, but you don't know what these guys are going to do. Olave, great pick. Definitely had him on my radar. Lots of talk about him going into this season as being the guy in New Orleans. And anything late that I love. And Njoku as his tight end. Lots of injuries last year with him. He's a huge freak athlete, but it's kind of week by week. You're like, is this guy going to play? And what's he going to do? So it's going to be kind of tight for him. And then he hedged again late with Dalton Schultz. Both tight ends I had on my roster last year. Both were just trying to get 10 points and make it by week. So that could be a problem with him. You want to have balance on your roster, and definitely a hole in the tight end spot depending on injuries and production from those guys.
Yeah, I like Lee. Lee did some good things. If Jonathan Taylor could play, I know he's out right now. He's still looking for a new home. Oh, he's going to be an Indy, but he's looking for a new home. Tyreek Hill's a beast. Aslave, I don't like Aslave. Aslave will definitely. Mike Williams on his bench. I'm looking at him down there. Will definitely find his way in that starting lineup at some point. And J.K. Dobbins, he got hurt last year, but he could be good in Baltimore. He never really got like the fair shot. So Tua's ass. Tua's ass too. But Lee Pack's team could be a hit or miss. But I do like Brees Hall too. Once he comes back fully healthy, that could be a really good pick. But again, Dalvin Cook could be stealing touches from him.
Yeah, like you guys said, I think he got good value on Jonathan Taylor, assuming he plays. That was Spat's downfall. We'll see this year if it's Lee Pack's downfall. Big note here, Lee Pack doesn't have a top-tier quarterback, and he's one of those guys where he will go QB early if he likes the value there. He's had Hurts. He's had other big names in other leagues I've been in with him. Not big on Aslave. I do like the Njoku pick as long as he stays healthy. Great value on Tyreek Hill. Don't like the Tua pick. He's the guy that's always hurt. Wait, what the fuck? I'm actually getting a call right now.
What?
Lee Will Do It is live
What's
in the podcast.
good?
We're in the quad box.
What
Holy
the
shit.
hell?
Yo,
Lee Will Do It is here. Holy
ripping
fuck.
a dart.
I'm here. I'm here to make a statement. He's sleeping on two. I got him in the last round. Remember that.
Damn, he's coming in trying to defend his team.
I don't
Respect.
need to defend my team. My team will speak week 1. My team will speak all the way to week 10 when I'm the last one there.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Quick update on the pitch. How we doing with that jacket?
Jacket's looking fresh.
Wow, that jacket's gay.
Jacket is honestly fire.
Jacket's fire.
Let's go, baby.
I mean, I think he's going to be good on the sleeves with that material on the inner lower arm. Could potentially see some moisture, so I'm just praying that's moisture thickening, and we don't see anything get ruined on that jacket. But
I already stitched towels in him.
you put maxi pads in there.
Either that, yeah. You need some maxi pads in there. Maybe like we said earlier in the pod, you weren't here, but like surgery could be possible or something like that. Looks like he's freezing up over here.
It's freezing up over here. He had a good old entrance. Lee, thanks for the surprise entrance. Looking forward to you becoming a guest on here. Anything you like to say, Lee?
It's a long pod.
I think this year everyone honestly drafted a good team. Maybe Kickler's a little hit or miss, probably a big miss, but throughout the season we'll see where things go. You always know injuries will be the downfall of a team. So I'm curious who's going to be the first one to get fucked with an injury. But overall, it was a great draft. I'm very curious on how Arnold's team is going to perform with James Conner as his RB1.
Who's your favorite?
To see the rivalries.
Lee, favorite team and least favorite team besides your own.
Favorite team. I really like Leo's team.
I feel like people are glazing him a little bit this year.
Yeah, I think South Nimbas is going to be a good team. Least favorite, I got to say, is Kicklers by far.
All right.
And predictions on
Thanks for having
Survivor.
me. Prediction on Survivor?
Yeah.
Predictions on Survivor. I think it's going to come down to core 3. I think it's going to be me, Leo, and Tommy Rapp.
Ooh, appreciate that prediction. All right, Lee, thanks for jumping on quick. We'll definitely have you on, I guess, here soon. Enjoy that dart. That's a sick jacket, and I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Can't wait to steamroll you this season. Peace.
Oh, yeah.
That is.
All right, boys, this was fun. This was great. One of the longest podcasts yet. We just hit the 50-minute mark. I think the boys are really going to like this one. Looking forward to have this group on here at another point in the season, but we really got deep into breakdowns. So, yeah, I had a good time, boys.
Yeah, breakdown week is always long. It's a little dry at times. It's not live analysis, but our real football fans, I think, are going to appreciate what we did. We took the time to go through team by team. So, more fun and excitement to come when we get our shotgun bids back.
Yes,
And
sir.
we get some drama throughout the league because we know we're never short of drama in this league. So excited for some fun apps and just to have a blast on here. Hopefully, have a couple cocktails sitting with me, but I'm off to work. Working man is a sucker.
Hey, that he is, brother.
I gotta go, but
I'm looking for a new beef this year anyway, and I'm calling out Run NATO. So if you want to be my beef this year, because you've been getting me tight lately. So if you want it, you want it. I'm here, motherfucker.
All right, boys. Commissioner signing out. We'll see this episode very soon. Maybe on YouTube. Maybe stay on StreamYard. Appreciate you coming out, Tom. Always a pleasure.
Anytime,
Stay safe
brother.
at work, Pop. And good luck to you boys this season.
Peace out, fellas.
Deuces.
appreciate it, boys. Appreciate it.